Hello, hello, welcome back. My name is Donald, aka the Scruffy Looking Gamer, and today we're going to talk about Wilds Unknown Pre-Release for Lorcana. Now, this is the first set where we actually have pre-release kits, which is very exciting. Pre-release kits have existed for a long time in other games like Magic the Gathering, and the fact that we have these in Lorcana now is really exciting news. So if you've never attended a pre-release for another game, or maybe you have attended Lorcana pre-releases, but you've never done one that has a pre-release kit, we're going to talk about what to expect in your pre-release kit, and then I guess what really to expect overall in a pre-release situation. So when you go to a pre-release, you should be getting a pre-release kit. This kit is going to contain 6 packs of Wilds Unknown, and then you would build your deck from those packs. Now, there's going to be some extra goodies in these pre-release kits as well, which is what is pretty exciting about this, I think, for a lot of people. So we're going to do a little unboxing here. I have this nice little pack that we can keep all our stuff in. These are going to come with 4 dice, which is pretty cool. Looks like probably the same as what you would see in the Trove, I would say, for this set. We have the Great Empty Sea postcard, future set announcement. Facing the heat, navigating thorny roots, but still thinking of you. And it's an actual postcard too. Like, I could send this to somebody. Yeah, we see the vines going through. We know the next set is Attack of the Vines. Interesting little lore tease there. Here's a pre-release kit booklet that I guess just tells us the story here. We've got some pack rush rules, which is interesting considering that these pre-release kits should be used for a sealed event and not for pack rush necessarily, but sure, why not? Let's have some pack rush rules in there. We have our 6 packs in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the promo. So each pre-release kit will have one of 6 promos in it, and they're stamped with this Wilds Unknown up here, and it's actually like the I believe it's more like the epic treatment foiling here, and not the normal foil process. But it's got the border on that we have come to expect now for OP related, any play related promos that you get should have that border now. And then that's it. Nothing else in here. These boxes are good for like when you're at the pre-release, you open up, you're not going to play with every single card that you open, so this is good to like keep your extra cards in, keep your dice in while you're moving from table to table, stuff like that. So I like these little boxes to be able to do that kind of stuff. We are going to open our packs, and I'm going to just talk through a little bit of how I like to do a pre-release as far as like organizing my cards, deck building, and that kind of stuff. So let's go through this. If I can open this pack. This one has extra glue, so it must be extra good. All right. So when I do my pre-release, so colors don't matter. You can play all 6 colors. I like to separate my cards out by their ink cost, but then I also separate my characters from my actions, songs, locations, items. I separate those 2 things just so that when I go to build my deck, I kind of have an easy view of what I've got. So we've got Mrs. Incredible. This is a 5 cost. 1 cost Woody. Hopefully we get the legendary Woody and we can shift onto that. I guess my, let me move this stuff down a bit here. All right. 1 cost. cost, 6 cost, 3. So here is a item. I'm gonna put that in a different column, kind of down here. Helga Sinclair, Ranger Plane. This is going to be pretty good card in limited, I think, in sealed, because being able to give all your characters support is kind of really nice. Support is such a versatile mechanic. You can use it to take out your other character, or take out, you know, bigger characters with smaller characters on your side when you need that little extra boost. But then also the Ranger Plane has that added bonus of, if a character has 10 or more power, then you can, or strength, you can give them +3 lore this turn. So like, you can use it offensively, but you can also use it to just boost a character up there to that 10 strength to be able to get that little extra lore gain. Got a lot of 6 costs so far, and no 4s, which is interesting. I think this is a really good card in limited as well, because anytime you can play a card for free, like that's just good. So put a toy character from your discard on the bottom of your deck to play this for free. If you happen to play a toy and it gets banished and you have this in your hand, that's just a free character. Always good. Always good thing. Put this down here. Put this down here. And sometimes you have to look out for cards that are just a trap. Like, it seems like it's really good, but it might be really good to build around and play in a constructed deck, but then when you try and do it in a random assortment of cards, it just doesn't work. So you have to be careful about those cards too. Here's our first 4-drop, which took us till pack 3 to get a 4, but I think this is another really good card, because whenever one of your other characters is banished, then you draw a card. Like, drawing cards is great. That's never a bad thing. It's always going to be a good card. Got our 5th 6-drop there, and another 4-drop. So we're really heavy on the 6s. We're definitely not going to be able to play all of those 6-drops. That's for sure. Luckily, so at least Syndrome. Is he the only one? Yeah, Syndrome's a shift. So as long as we have the little guy, which we do have Incrediboy here. So Incrediboy counts as Syndrome for shift. So that's definitely a playable combination there. Got another hand in the box. I'm going to play every single one of those I get. Every single time. Frozen. I guess my cards aren't up on the screen, are they? Sorry. Another 6-drop. That's a lot of 6-drops. Tiberius. That's a good card as well. And we got a legendary. Luisa. I think this card's really good. I mean, legendaries should be really good, but they're not always really great in limited. Sometimes they're what we consider a bomb, which is like just totally going to blow your opponent out of the water. I don't know if this is quite bomb territory, but it's pretty darn close, because you can move damage around, and like, that's just, removal is so good in limited, and so like there's just not a lot of it. So having like being able to do removal over and over and over with this character is fantastic. Oh, a double legendary pack. Very nice. We got the Buzz Lightyear. Not the best legendary for this, because I mean, we do have some actions, and we have a 4 and a 5 cost action, right now. So like maybe you can utilize Buzz's ability to return an action card with 7 or less from your discard your hand. It's gonna be kind of hard to do that consistently, but on turn 5, if you can shift him as a 7/5, like that quest for 2 lore, and every time you play an action you gain a lore. I mean that's not bad. It's not gonna be a bad thing. So Buzz is probably another pretty playable card that we will like to use here. 2 legendaries in 1 pack. That's pretty good. I think you can expect to get maybe 1 legendary on average from one of these. God, another 6-drop. We cannot play all those 6-drops. There's just no way. Five drop. Here's another 4. All of these, the Traveler cycle. So all of them, when they quest, if you played another character this turn, they do whatever their ability is. I think those are very good cards for limited as well. 7 drop that doesn't have shift. Like, it's kind of rough. I mean, he is inkable, so that makes it so much more playable. If this was uninkable, wouldn't even consider it. But yeah, I mean, he's a playable card to end of your turn. If you put 2 or more cards in your discard this turn, draw a card. It's pretty feasible by turn 7 that maybe something on your board you're going to banish in a challenge, or and you play another character or play an action or something. So he's kind of fringe playable, I would say. Put him over here in my costs way too much pile. Isabella's pretty good too. Being able to, I mean, she's a shift 4, so if you have a shift target, that's great. And being able to gain lore just from moving damage. Remember, we have the other Madrigal here that, wherever she went, that lets us, she's a 5. Lets us move damage, so whenever we're moving damage with Louisa, we can gain lore for doing that. With Isabella, it's a great combination. It's definitely something you want to look for. And this type of format is how you can kind of pair those cards together to get the most out of them. Those two go great together. And all the Madrigals, for that matter, thematically, play off each other very well. We got our Shift Buzz target for our big Buzz over here. So he's a Shift 5 onto a 2-drop. That's definitely good. I think this is a pretty good card. Being able to 2 characters can't quest next turn and draw a card off of it, and it's a Psalm. Definitely a playable card. I keep holding my cards down here. Sorry. This is an item. Syndrome's remote, also an item. All right. So there we go. We got 2 legendaries total. Yep, Buzz and Lisa. So that's probably pretty average. 1 to 2 legendaries I would expect from this. If you get lucky and open like legendary in every pack, then you just won pre-release. But whether you win your games or not, you won pre-release. If you open an enchanted or an iconic, then you won pre-release. You don't even have to win a game. But so now that we've got all of our cards laid out, it's kind of a you want to get that bell curve. So you want to be heaviest at your 3 and 4 drops, and then kind of back off a little bit on your 2 and 5 drops, and then a little bit less on your 1 and 6 drops, so that you really want to draw a 1 drop to be able to play on turn 1, but like on turn 7 you don't really want to draw that 1 cost card. It's just not going to be that good for you. And then in the same sense, you don't want to draw 3 7 cost cards on turn 1 and then have nothing to do with them for 6 turns. it's just not going to be great. So we really want to kind of heavily stack our 3 and 4s, and then go down the slope on either side. We got a ton of 3s here. We got a total of 5 4-drops. I think all of these are playable. So 5 4-drops. I'll play that all day, since that's all we got. Then I would cut these 3-drops down. We definitely don't need this many 3s by any means. So then I would start to look for things like shift targets that we want. If we have anything to shift, if we have like Bullseye gets reduced casting cost. If we have a Woody in play, we do have a couple Woodies. So like this is a card that we would play. The same thing with Bo Peep. We can give our Woody characters Bodyguard with Bo Peep. So anything that kind of plays off other cards are very good. And then just things that have like an above average rate. Like this is a 3 cost that is a 4/4. So that's, he's kind of above average on his stats. So stuff like that is good. So I would go through my 3s and definitely knock that down a good bit. We're shooting for a 40 card deck here. You can play more than 40. I don't recommend it. You kind of want to get it down to 40. And maybe a 41st card if you just have so many good cards. But I like to kind of start at the top of my best cards in every stack and then just work my way down from there. Like once I've got a good solid 35 cards I want to play, then I'll just add the extra 5 in, and kind of go from there. But cards like Tiberius, where you can, when you play him, you draw a card and then discard, and then at the end of your turn, if 2 or more cards are put in your discard, each opponent loses a lore. So anytime you're drawing a card, it's good. It's not great that you have to discard after that, but filtering through your cards, like you might have a 7-drop uninkable in your hand on turn 2. That's something you just want to pitch and get something that is more playable for you at the time. So something like that lets us do that is very good. Having evasives is always very good in this type of format, because there's a chance maybe your opponent just doesn't have any evasives at all, and they can just quest away and not have to worry about it. And then your shift targets, like we want to play Incrediboy for sure, because we have that shift syndrome. The same with our Buzz Lightyear. It's shift target for one of our later cards. We'll play that every time. I like to run, like this is a lot of 1-drops. I would probably cut this down to my 4 or 5 best 1-drops, maybe a 6th, but that's really pushing it. Will-o'-the-Wisp, I think, is one of the best 1-drops that we get in this set, because when it's banished in a challenge, it's going to come right back to your hand, and then you can use it. You can play it again, or since it's inkable, you can just use it for ink on a turn after. Like if it gets banished on turn 3, then now it's just ink for the rest of the game, which is great, because that's another card you didn't have to ink out of your hand. We definitely want to play our Woody. We didn't get a shift Woody, but we got several cards that kind of interact with Woody. So those are things that we would want to play. And then your items and your actions are kind of like, you want to look at that after you look at your characters, because we don't want a bunch of items and a bunch of actions and then no characters, and then we just, what do we do with that? Like, we're not going to win off playing a bunch of actions, because they're not going to gain us lore most of the time. So we've really got to focus on the characters first, supplement that with a few actions, a few items, and go from there. But that's kind of how I look at a pre-release, how I would consider building my deck. I forgot to mention, you can include your promo in your deck. Don't forget about your promo like I just did. This can be played in your deck. So remember that when you're building your deck, that your promo is also part of your sealed card pool. I hope that this helps you if this is your first pre-release. If it's not your first pre-release and you just don't have a system, then feel free to adopt my system. If you think you have a better system, keep doing it. More power to you. This is just the way I like to do it. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you're excited for a Wilds Unknown pre-release. I'm very excited to play. I'm kind of sad that I opened all this and now I'm not gonna play with this. It was more of a educational tool and less of a game to play. I might still build my deck anyway and then just play with it later with some of my friends. But yeah, there it is, Wilds Unknown pre-release kit. I hope that you have a good day, and thanks for watching. Until next time.